The Crown Heights, Brooklyn neighborhood, known for its Caribbean and kosher eateries, with most of the population in Crown Heights North and South consisting of majority Caribbean and African Americans, as well as Hasidic Jews. They have a Caribbean parade there every year, and according to the West Indian American Carnival Association, over 3.5 million people participate in the parade each year. It's considered a decent neighborhood, with a lot of the longtime residents being pushed out due to gentrification that started back in the 90s in that area and accelerated at a very fast pace in the decade of 2010. On the evening of October 12, 2022, shortly before 10 o'clock, officers responded to reports of shots fired in the Crown Heights neighborhood on Pacific Street. When they arrived on scene, they found 28-year-old Christopher Jenkins there and told officers he was shot and said he was dying. Christopher had 2 wounds in his head and realized at the moment who his biggest enemy was at the time, and it wasn't some guys on the street. His enemy was his own mother. Take a second to make sure that you're subscribed to the channel. If you're watching from Crown Heights, Flatbush, Prospect, Bed-Stuy, Brownsville, let me know below. Christopher Jenkins was born in Brooklyn. He grew up with his mother, Vanessa Jenkins, a 44-year-old Jamaican American who used to call herself the Rastafarian Princess. Vanessa's background is in construction work. She also worked for UPS as a driver helper. She was a teen mom, gave birth to Christopher at a very young age. She was only 16 years old. Back in 2015, on November 23rd, Vanessa posted this on Facebook. She said, "Sending a big shout out to my one and only son." She tagged Christopher and said, "Happy birthday. Hope you live to see many more. Stay safe. I love you always. Your mother said so." Fast forward nearly 7 years later in May of 2022. Vanessa proudly posted on Instagram a certificate showing that she had completed a gun safety course in Florida, authorizing her to carry a concealed weapon. She told her followers, "No more talking, I'm legal now." It was only 5 months before Vanessa would get the opportunity to use her weapon, although she had been itching to use it for a while. That day was October 12th, 2022, when her son Christopher came home from work. Vanessa wanted alcohol and weed and said that she wanted Christopher to go get it for her. The walls in their apartment so thin, they woke up their neighbor, who overheard the entire argument. Christopher told his mom that he was tired. He just came home from work. He said he didn't feel like going out right now and told his mother, "I just got home. Can you give me a break?" That's when a neighbor heard 2 gunshots and called the police. When the police showed up, they found Christopher sitting outside. He told them, "My mom shot me. I'm dying." Medics rushed him to Kings County Hospital, where he had to undergo emergency surgery and was put on life support. Cops found Vanessa inside the apartment and arrested her the next day on October 13th. She was charged with attempted murder, weapon possession, and criminal use of a firearm. The judge set a cash bail amount of $500,000 or a $1 million bond. Vanessa didn't have enough money to get out, so she's been sitting at Rikers Island. It's been reported that before this incident, she was arrested 5 times. Several of those arrests involve assaults, but it wasn't clear if any of them involved her son, Christopher. For almost 2 weeks, Christopher fought for his life before passing away on October 24th, leaving behind 2 kids.
Here in our alert center, police say a 44-year-old mother is facing a slew of charges in the death of her 28-year-old son in Crown Heights. Back on Wednesday, October 12th, police say they found 28-year-old Christopher Jenkins with a gunshot wound to the side of his head outside of 1770 Pacific Street. Jenkins was taken to a hospital and later died on Monday, October 24th. Now, his mother has been identified as 44-year-old Vanessa Jenkins. Police say a motive is unclear at this time, and right now what we know is that mother is facing charges that include attempted murder, criminal use of a firearm, but police say those charges may be upgraded. We've reached out to the district attorney's office. We'll let you know when we hear back. Anthony.
Now that her son has passed away, those initial charges should be upgraded to murder. Vanessa is claiming self-defense as she attempts to place her son on trial, telling law enforcement that Christopher ran with the Crips. She also told them that he choked her before she shot him and he's been in trouble before. You know, it's crazy that she would say this because, ma'am, you have a past too, which is why I believe the son and the neighbor who overheard this. You see, what really happened is Vanessa got mad because her son basically said no, not right now. She told him to go get her something to smoke and drink from the store, and she expected him to do as he was told. No different than that birthday post that she made in 2015. Remember, she said, "Shout out to my only son." Lady, you killed your only son. She said, "Happy birthday. I hope you live to see many more." Well, he was able to see 6 more, but you killed him before he was able to see it again. His 29th birthday coming up in a couple of days. You did this, Vanessa, to your only son that you said, "I love you always." Did you love him when you aimed at his head twice and let loose? That's what you did, Vanessa, to your only son that you love so much. I mean, it's just crazy. And look at these last 4 words. These 4 right here, she said, "Your mother said so." 7 years later, you have this last argument, you know, where she expected for him to go and leave the house at 10 o'clock at night after getting home from work just to get her something to drink and smoke. And you know why he had to do it? It's because your mother said so. Christopher didn't do it right away. And because she didn't get her way right then and there, she got loud, disrespectful, out of pocket, and she decided that she was finally going to use that weapon because, you know, she said, "No more talking. I'm legal now." So Vanessa, she deleted her son, and now she's playing the victim like she's Vanessa Zimmerman. But this wasn't some random psycho on the street. It was his own mama. And you see, now she's trying to act like Christopher was the problem when the neighbor already said she heard him say that he was tired. He had just got home from work. He didn't feel like going to the store right away. Give him a break. Think about it. He's working all day, people barking orders at him, and then he's got to come home to his mama. She's barking orders. And just like at work, he's got to do whatever his mama told him to do because she said so. The prices for rent is up 300% in the area where he's from, but he still wasn't earning much money. So he found himself in a position like this. Neither one of them could afford to live alone. Vanessa needed him there to contribute as much as he needed to be there. And then after all of that, can you imagine sitting outside and telling the police it was your mother who shot you? How is it that the op is your own mama? The crazy thing about all this is Christopher didn't say that he wasn't going to go at all. He just told his mother not right now. According to the witness, she heard him say, "Mom, I'm not going now. I'll go later. Just let me rest. I'll wait until later." That's what the neighbor said she heard. And then she said that Vanessa told Chris, "Stop messing around. Go now. I need it." One of the last things she heard Vanessa say was "go," urging him to get up and go now to the store. After the neighbor heard the shots, she got really scared. She claims Vanessa started dragging Chris out of the building, stepped over his body, and walked away. Chris stayed conscious long enough to tell police it was his mother who did it to him. Another neighbor said a week and a half before the incident, he got into an argument with Christopher because Christopher's car was in the way. You also had other neighbors who said they always heard the mother yelling and cursing. Now you have Vanessa saying that Christopher had ties with the Crips. And even if she's telling the truth about that, the night in question, he was not cripping. Christopher was on a regular job, doing shift work, came home, and didn't feel like going to the store for his mama's weed and alcohol. So Vanessa, cut it out. That's not justification for those shots. You're still out of order. What mother would do that to their own child? Sadly, Christopher is gone now, leaving behind 2 kids. And as for Vanessa, his mother, hopefully she's held accountable for this and get life in prison. If she would do this to her own son, I wouldn't trust this woman around anyone. Let's go ahead and get the conversation started below in the comments. Shout out to Wesley, Larry, and B1K. I appreciate all of you for your support. Don't forget that you can support this channel as well. Links to Cash App and PayPal are below. Ladies, fellas, want a balanced analysis, want the truth from a woman's perspective? Then you're going to want to subscribe to this channel and don't forget to like and share.